Keeping on the campaign trail, next on Fox, we'll chat with the local man who's entering the political ring against Congressman Kevin McCarthy.
I just want to make this very clear that I sent out a memo and you got it. That men don't have to wear green today.
Okay. Well, I'll give you both a pass. But let's talk about this. It is a very busy election season, and one local race catching the attention of Kern County. It's the 23rd congressional seat, currently held by Congressman Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, independent businessman Ken Mettler is joining us to talk about his bid for Congress. And thanks for coming back in.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Appreciate it.
I guess the biggest question on everyone's mind is why?
Well, you know, I think it's important for the people to have a choice. I also am in this race to point out that sometimes the words in the district don't match the actions back in Washington, and I think that's important for the electorate to have a choice.
So who is Ken Mettler compared to Congressman Kevin McCarthy? What is the difference separating you two?
Well, there's a vast difference. I'm a Constitution-loving citizen, and I want to see our Constitution honored. And I think that incumbent politicians, frankly, are just in there too long. And we need to have fresh blood. We need new people to come along and go back and represent the citizens here and then come back to their civilian job. I'm in favor of term limits, and I think it's very important that we get new, fresh ideas and someone that will follow the Constitution.
There have been people out there who have said, you know, Congressman McCarthy considers himself a true conservative, but you don't necessarily feel that way.
No, a true conservative doesn't vote for the omnibus bill. He doesn't lead the fight to spend $1.1 trillion of our taxpayers' money. He doesn't fully fund Obamacare. He doesn't fully fund executive amnesty, and he doesn't fund Planned Parenthood. Those are all actions that our congressman did. It's public record, it's his voting record, and he needs to stand and be accountable for what he has done back in Washington. And so I plan to be that person that represents our campaign to bring some transparency to the office.
How would you work for the folks here in California? I noticed that you used to work with the oil industry.
Yes.
Schools. You've been in school boards.
Yes, that's correct.
What are you looking to do for Kern County?
Well, for Kern County, I think the main thing is we do have to follow the Constitution, because if we do that, all things work much better. We can't have the crony capitalism and the crony establishment type spending that's going on. Every American worker is in debt on the federal budget, $121,000. That's someone's house. We can't sustain this. We have $20 trillion in debt right now. We have $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities at the federal level. So what it does to us here, all of our kids and grandchildren right now are being saddled with a mountain of debt. And so we've got to get government working in a lean, efficient fashion. And back here, of course, yes, I've been a businessman my full life. I have been a small businessman. I have worked in the oil industry, I've worked in the real estate industry, and I've got a sense of the pulse here of what makes things work.
Do you think people are really upset? I mean, you can tell by Trump winning all these different electorates, people are just upset.
Are you surprised?
Yes.
Are you surprised? Because I think in the beginning, when Trump, you know, and a lot of people were like, he's going to fade out.
Yes.
And now it's becoming real that he might be the nominee, most likely is going to be the nominee.
I think we're all a bit surprised, because you feel this inside, you know something's wrong. You try to articulate it, but you think you're isolated, you think it's only your feelings. I think this election, this primary season, has been a real eye-opener for folks, and I do think it's healthy for our country. I mean, I don't care where you are in the political spectrum. If you get engaged, start studying the issues, and I think it's so important, and I'm so proud of everyone being engaged. We may not always agree, but I think a good, healthy debate is always important. I think as in the case of our candidacy here, I think when people go to my website, which will be up later this week, kenmettler.com, We're going to list every issue. We're going to list the principles that my candidacy is based on, and there will be unwavering. In other words, there is a core belief system there, and people will know what to expect. And independents, Democrats, Hispanic voters, I think will all see in this that there's a fairness, a basic fairness in our founding documents, and that translates through by giving everybody equal opportunity. And so I'm looking forward to this coming up season.
Well, do you think, there's so much divisiveness in Washington,
Yes.
do you think that is part of the reason Trump is doing well? Because people are,
Yes.
quite honestly, a lot of them you hear, they're just done with politics. You know, they've registered
Yep.
Republicans, now
Yep.
independent. Do you think this helps you? Do you think this helps you, being that you are not currently...
It helps our cause. I just happen to be the person that was standing there and didn't completely say no to running. So for the people like myself that believe in the Constitution, yes, we understand that Trump is resonating because people are upset. They're losing their jobs. We do horrible trade deals, and Trump is correct. For years and years, these have been silly. These other countries do currency manipulation. It's just we lose. Cruz is correct too. If you follow the Constitution and you get to have a love for it, things work out. There's a balance there, and you get the proper relationship. Right now, most of the bills in Congress, like the omnibus bill I just mentioned, they're written by lobbyists. No one reads it. Everything's lumped in there. There's not a debate on the individual topics within it. And special interests insert their goodies in there. And unfortunately, Kevin has become the water boy for the establishment, and he can't do that any longer. People in Kern County and in the 23rd Congressional District, he's lost his way.
All right. Well, Ken Mettler, unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you for coming to talk with us and sit down with us. Your website, you said, kenmettler.com, is going to be up.
It's not up yet. It comes up.
Well, there's the one page is up.
Yeah.
It exists. We are going to fill in the content,
Okay.
and I think people find it quite interesting, and it's well thought out.
Okay, Ken, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining into the race.
Absolutely.
And good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
8:28 is the time, and we'll be right back.